Hey everyone, good morning. This is Miss Neha here. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well. Stay safe, stay clean. So, today we are going to start our new topic 12, measure length. Lesson number 1, compare and order length. Page numbers are 667 till 670. And the homework pages are 671 till 672. And today is 5th of April 2020. So let's begin with this lesson. Now, here as you can see, these are our vocabulary words that we are going to learn in this topic. So we will go one by one to each vocabulary. So as you can see here, I have longest, shortest, longer, shorter, length, measure. Okay, so in this lesson, we are going to cover longest, shortest, longer, shorter, and length. Now, before we begin this lesson, I want you to take a paintbrush, a pencil, or a pen or any marker. Okay, so I want you to take these three things with you, and when we begin our lesson, I want you to use these objects. Okay, now as you know, this topic is about measuring length. Now, what do you mean by length? As you can see here, length means, I'll just take my pointer here. Okay, length over here means the distance from one end of an object to the another end. This means length. Okay, any object, just you can see there are so many objects around you, right? If I want to see how long is it, how will I know? I will measure it, right? This is called length. Now, as you can see here, this is a baseball bat, right? Now, if I want to measure the length of this baseball bat, I will start from one end. All the way I will go to another end. So do you see this line over here, the blue line? This is the length of the baseball bat. This shows me how long the baseball bat is, right? Now here, let's take another example. Now, as you can see the book here, you see the book? If I want to measure how long my book is, so I will place my ruler. I will place my ruler on one end, and I will take all the way till the end of the book here. As you can see here, let me change the color. Okay, so I will start from here, from one end, and I will go all the way to another end. So this is the length of my book. Now, using this, you will learn in higher grades. But now I want you to know what's the meaning of length. It means the distance. You see the distance from here? The distance from one end to the another end. This is called length. Okay? Now, as you can see here, the word shorter, longer, shorter, longer, shortest, and longest. Now, how will you tell me, or how I can say what is the difference between shorter and shortest, longer and longest? Do you have any idea what is shorter and shortest? I know shorter means something which is very short. Now, what is shortest and what is shorter? Now, you see here, we can put objects in order from shortest to longest or from longest to shortest. Now, what is the difference I will tell you between shorter, shortest, longer, and longest? Now here, when we compare two objects, shorter and longer. Now here compare, if I want to compare two things together, here I can use shorter and longer, which ends with ER. When will you use ER? You will use ER when you are comparing two objects, two same objects, or two different objects. Now here you see, the pink line is shorter, the purple line is longer. You see this line over here, the pink line and the purple line, right? I can say the pink line is shorter than the purple line, right? Because they both are in line and they both are different colors, right? But one is shorter and another one is longer. Now you can see here the pencils. One pencil over here is short. Another pencil over here is long. So I can say this pencil over here is the shorter pencil, right? I will write for you here. Now this pencil is shorter. And this pencil down here is longer. Now, one thing I want you to know is when we are comparing two objects, remember this, when we are comparing two objects, we will use ER. You see this ER? Shorter and longer. You understand which is shorter and which is longer? Look at this pencil. Now, this pencil, you see the length? It starts from here all the way till here. Now this pencil, the below one, I'll start from this end and all the way to the other end. Now you see which is longer? Excellent. The down one is the longer one. Now, when we compare more than two objects, now here we will use EST. You can see here EST. You can see here EST. Shortest and longest. Shortest and longest. We will use shortest and longest when we compare more than two objects or more than two things. Now here you see I have three different lines, right? Now, I have one orange line, I have one blue line, and I have one green line, right? Now, I want you to read with me. Let's start from here. The orange line is the shortest, right? Because now here we are comparing three objects. It's more than two. We will not say it is shorter. You will use ER only when we are comparing two objects. Now here we have more than two objects. So the orange line is the shortest, right? As you can see here up, the orange line is the shortest. The blue line is longer than the orange line. Now, if I say you to compare only the orange line and the blue line, I can say the blue line is longer than the orange line. I can also say the blue line is shorter than the green line. See, the blue line over here is shorter than the green line. The green line is the longest. You see over here, I have three lines. I have one orange line, one blue line, and one green line. So I can say the orange line is the shortest of all, and the green line is the longest of all. And the blue one is in the middle one, so I can compare with any one of them. I can compare it with the orange line, or I can compare it with the green line. But we need over here is the shortest and the longest. You understand? Now, look at this three pencil. How are they arranged in order, right? Now, here, let me write. You will tell me which is the shortest one. Can you tell me which is the shortest pencil from this one? If you select this one, then you are correct. This pencil is the shortest. Good job. Now, can you tell me which is the longest pencil? If you select this one, good job. This pencil is the longest. You see now? How you know which is the shortest and which is the longest? Now, here, if I put all the pencil in line together, now you can see here, they all are starting from the same point, right? And if I put all these three pencils together, you can see which length is the longest and which length is the shortest. You see here? This pencil is the shortest, and this pencil is the longest. You get it? Good job. Now, we can draw three lines in order from shortest to longest. Now you will draw with me three lines. We will draw three lines, one the shortest, one in the middle, and the last one will be the longest. Now you have to go in order from short to long, okay? So now here, let's draw one line from shortest. So this is the shortest line I make. And I can make the longest line, right? Now, one line I can draw that will be from between this line to this line. I can draw anywhere between that because it's in the middle. So I can draw from here to here. You see? This is the shortest. And the last one is the longest. Okay? Next. Now we can draw three lines in order from longest to shortest. In the previous one here, we did from short to long. Now here we will do from longest to shortest. So let's draw the longest line. This is the longest line. And let me draw the shortest line. Now, the middle line will be anywhere between these two dotted lines. You see? This one is the longest line, and this one is the shortest. Now you understand how to compare more than two objects? Now, there's one question here. Let us solve and then we'll begin with the lesson. Let me take my pointer here. A bee landed on the shortest flower. Draw a line from the bee to the shortest flower. Can you tell me which flower is the shortest? If you select this one, then good job. So the bee landed on the shortest flower. Good job. So now you know how to compare more than two objects. You know which is the shortest. You know which is the longest. Now let us watch the video.
You can put the worms in order by length. Are these worms the same length or different lengths? They are different lengths. How can you tell?
Can you tell me how?
The worms are lined up at one end, and you can see that the other ends do not line up. You can put the worms in order by length. The yellow worm is longer than the red worm and the blue worm. The yellow worm is the longest. What does the word longest mean? It means having the greatest length. Does having their ends line up help you find which worm is longest? Yes. When you line up one end of all three objects, you can look at the other ends to compare their lengths. Which worm is shorter, the red or blue worm? The blue worm. Length. Does having their lengths. Which worm is shorter, the red or blue worm?
Now here, can you tell me which is the shorter, the red or the blue? Now here we are not talking about the yellow one. Now here we're comparing only two, the red and the blue. You see, we are comparing only the red and the blue.
Yes. When you line up one end of all three objects, you can look at the other ends to compare their lengths. Which worm is shorter, the red or blue worm?
Okay, so here they're saying which worm is shorter, the red or the blue. Can you tell me which one? Good job.
Select your answer.
Come on, tell me which one. Excellent. The red one.
The red worm is shorter than the blue worm. What does the word shortest mean? It means having the least length. Is the red worm the shortest worm?
Yes.
Yes, the red worm is the shortest. Why don't you have to compare the red worm to the yellow worm to know that the red one is the shortest? You already know that the yellow one is the longest. What are the worm colors in order from longest to shortest? Yellow, blue, red. What are the worm colors in order from shortest to longest?
Go from short to long.
In order from shortest to longest, The worm colors are
red, blue, and yellow.
yellow.
Now you know how to put objects in order from shortest to longest.
So now you know how to solve the question where it says which is the longest and which is the shortest, right? Now, I want you to open your book, page number 667. And you remember I told you to take three things: the pencil, the paintbrush, and the marker or pen. Now be ready, okay? Now, the question here: can you put these objects in order from longest to shortest? How can you tell if one object is longer than another object? Now here we are comparing it by the length. Now I want you to take the pencil, the paintbrush, and the marker together, line up together. Now you will measure. I want you to pile them all together and then tell me which is the longest and which is the shortest. Come on, tell me which is the longest. I will give you some time. So if you say pencil, excellent. The pencil is the longest. Now, which is the shortest? The paintbrush. Excellent. And what will come in the middle? The marker. Got it how to do this? Now, next page. Wait a second. Here they say, how can you tell if one object is longer than another object? Can you tell me how? You can write there, I lined up the ends of the object, and then I can find which is the longest and which is the shortest. So here you can write, I lined up the ends of the object. You can write here, I lined up the ends of the objects. Okay? Now, next page, page number 668. Now, I know this topic is really fun. Okay? Now, draw lines to show which object is longest and which is the shortest. Now here you can see number one they have done for you. Here I think these are straws, right? This is a blue straw, this is pink, and this is the purple. Now the longest straw is the pink one, you can see here. And the shortest is the purple one. Now, question number two. Now, I know it's very easy for you. Which is the longest paintbrush? Which color? Can you tell me which color is the longest? Green, purple, or blue? Good job. Bravo. The longest is the green one. And the shortest? Excellent. The purple one. Got it? How to do it? Yes. Now, next page. Now this is the independent practice. I will explain you and then you will do it, okay? Now, draw lines to show which object is longest and which is shortest. It's very easy. Now, the longest and the shortest, you see from here, there are 3 markers for you. Which is the longest, you make a line to the longest, and which is the shortest, you make line to the shortest. The same thing with question number 4. Now, question number 5 over here is, use the clue about the length to color the crayons. The shortest crayon is orange. Now, there are 3 crayons over here. You have to color the shortest one orange. The blue crayon is longer than the green crayon. So you know which you have to color blue and which one you have to color green, okay? Now this is the problem solving. Now here, question number 6. Thomas paints a line, let me highlight. Thomas paints a line that is longer than the blue line. He paints a line that is longer than the blue line. What color line did he paint? Can you tell me which line from these 3 is longer than the blue line? And you have to compare only 2 colors. Orange is longer than blue? No. Red is longer than the blue. You got it now how to do it, right? So here you can write red. The red color paint is longer than the blue one. Now, you can do question number 7, 8, and 9. It's very easy. Here you only have to tell which is the longest and which is the shortest. Okay? And thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Stay safe, stay clean. See you tomorrow.